Hello friends, my name's the Real Emile and welcome back to some more Gran Turismo 2. Today we're continuing on with our Let's Play. This is episode 74 and in today's episode we are heading back to the North City to compete in some more one-make races. And today's one-make race is going to be hosted by TVR and it is the Tuscan Speed Cup, and that's only available for the Tuscans. Now, as you can see in the lineup, the Tuscan is not available to buy. It is in the special vehicles section, however, there is an issue. You can't actually buy the bloody thing. Yeah, there you go. You can't actually buy the bloody thing. Luckily, you do win it, and luckily, I've actually kept one in my garage for this specific reason. So let's go ahead and get into it. Where is it? There it is. Underneath my Cerberus. Let's change into you, and there we go. We have a TVR Tuscan Speed 6. Right, let's head back to North City, let's head back to TVR, and let's see if we can actually do any modifications to this. I'll see you in a second. So, there we go, I have modified my TVR Tuscan to about 511 horsepower. So let's go ahead and jump into the first race, which is for normal style vehicles. Once again, it's on a random course. Okay, our first race with the TVR Tuscan has headed to the Red Rock Valley Speedway. A track which should hopefully suit the Tuscan very, very well. So the TVR Tuscan then, this is actually kind of a curious choice for a one-make race, considering you can't actually buy this vehicle. I'm fairly certain this is the only one-make race in the game where you can't actually buy the vehicle you're supposed to actually use for it, which is a little bit strange if you ask me, but whatever. I'm kind of surprised it's not like a TVR Chimera Cup or something like that, considering, you know, the Chimera, you can race modify it, you can actually buy it from the game, and it's actually a relatively iconic vehicle within Gran Turismo. Unfortunately, they went with the Tuscan, and the reason that's a bit unfortunate is because this is actually my least favourite of the TVRs, at least the ones that I know of anyway. I know there's a bunch of TVRs which I don't know about. I know about cars pretty damn well. You know, I'm a little bit sketchy when it comes to sort of English sports cars and just like British vehicles in general, just because, you know, sort of pre-1970 there was a ridiculous amount of small sports car makers making cars which looks basically exactly the bloody same as each other. I know TVR made vehicles back in the 60s, so yeah. But the Tuscan is my personal least favourite of TVR's range, or at least like the well-known range. I don't know, I've just never really been huge on its styling, no matter which generation it is, you know, first gen, second gen, or whatever. Just never really been a big fan of the styling on this vehicle, and yeah, it's just not my cup of tea. I'd much rather have a Cerberus, which I believe had like the same engines as the Tuscan. However, from what I remember, the Tuscan was definitely the more iconic of, or one of the more iconic vehicles of TVR. Probably the one, like, if you pointed the Tuscan out to most people, they'd say, yep, that's a TVR over, you know, if you pointed out a Cerberus, or even like something like the Speed 12, people would probably still recognise the Tuscan over it. I do wish there was like a one make for the Speed 12. I do need to show the Speed 12 off at some point, just because that vehicle is, it's nuts. It really is a bonkers car. If you think that thing is like bonkers in Forza or something, you have not tried it in GT2. Anyways, we won that race by quite a ways, which is kind of surprising. As you can see, all the vehicles are exactly the same model. They come in exactly the same colour even. So yeah, no real point of sitting and watching the leaderboard. Anyways, we do win 7,000 credits, and I will see you guys in a second. We're going to race modify this thing. Let's see if we can make this thing even more crazy. Okay, it's time to race modify the TVR Tuscan, so let's get into it. Let's head over here, let's head to racing car modifications, and as you can see, the TVR Tuscan gets a relatively basic scheme. There is several different colours. I'm going to go for the white and blue because it's probably the least offensive combo there. So yeah, let's go with that one. Now, don't get me wrong, I usually like offensive looking combos, however, like blue and red and yellow and red just looks really odd to me, so yeah. Anyways, the next race is going to be for racing style vehicles. It goes to a random course, once again. Our next race with the TVR Tuscan headed to the Grand Valley East section. So let's get into it. Anyways, as you can see, there are quite a few different colours in this race. I don't think anyone decided to go for my white and blue scheme, which of course means they're all mad. And they must be, because they're all driving TVRs. Yeah, I think that's the silver one. I was tempted to go for the silver, I've just pushed him onto the grass by accident. Sorry, silver buddy, I do apologise, I would come back and help you, but you know, I'm embroiled in a bit of a race here. Now, I do have to admit, in sort of race guys, sure, the Tuscan is a little bit of a basic race mod, but it's still a pretty cool one. We are playing bumper cars, apparently. This is definitely the whole TVR race. And one thing I can be certain of is the fact that this thing has stupid gear ratios. Hold up. That is almost 60 miles an hour in first gear. 150 kilometers an hour in second gear is quite ridiculous. There we go. I mean, that's what... I'm just trying to think, actually. Actually, it's only about 90 miles an hour. I mean, on Forza, fair enough, but on Gran Turismo, they're kind of long. 220 kilometers in third gear. And... in fourth gear, I don't... Oh, I don't have a 6-speed. This vehicle is not a 6-speed. Huh. You see, I think the Tuscan really should be a 6-speed. I don't know if this game just sort of like messed up the implementation of it. Perhaps, maybe. Wouldn't surprise me. I mean, this was... Then again, I mean, when this game first came out, I believe the Tuscan was only a concept car. And to add further insult to injury, I think this was the first game to actually ever feature the TVR Tuscan. Although, please do correct me if I am wrong. There's actually, oh god, I believe it's called Vanishing Point. That game has the TVR in it. I might have to play that for the channel at some point, because Vanishing Point, for what I remember, was a fantastic game. It had a very, very cool intro sequence to it. I do remember. I don't know if it was a movie tie-in or not, because I know there was a film called Vanishing Point. Perhaps it was. I don't really know. Either way, what I do know is, unless I cock up massively, we are indeed going to win this race, although not by as much as we did win the last race. A fairly tight pack on this race, which is never what I like to see. I like to win my races. Dominate them, not just win them. Yeah. Anyways, we win 10,000 credits. There we go. And I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, so there we go. As you can see, that is both races done for the TVR Tuscan. That means we're done with the Tuscan Speed Cup. And that means we are done with TVR's one-make races. In the next episode, we're going to head over to Lotus to start their one-make races. So join me for that. Anyways, friends, I want to thank you all very much for watching. My name has been the Real Emile, and until next time, farewell.